What's going on? I wanted to make a video following up from the video I made a few weeks ago about rebuilding your life at 33, burning it down to the ground. Maybe you're not, maybe you haven't burnt it down to the ground, or you're just at a spot where you want to change. For me, it was torched, and I had to start from literally nothing. And I just want to be an example for other people. I want people to be able to come across this video, and I want them to hear what I have to say and just know that at one point I was absolutely hopeless, and I have put myself back together. My life is amazing now. Do I have materials? I don't know if that's how you define amazing, then then you probably will find nothing interesting in this video. But no, I don't have a stack of money or materials, but I have, things that I value far more than that, and that I thought I would never want in life. And I gave that a fair shake once it was time for me to change, right? So I gave listening a fair shake. Listening, I have learned to come to find, is a superpower, and has provided me with all the knowledge that I've needed to build this foundation that I stand on today. And I think it's really important that if you're here and you're at that juncture in life where you're like, I can't keep going on like this, listen. There's enough consumable content on here that can set you in the right path. But more than that is find a community. Find a community of people in which that you want to surround yourself with, that have a like mind, like goal, and talk to them. And if they're further along in you and they have accomplished some of those things towards said goal, listen. You know, I lived by I know. All right, that was my phrase. Oh, I know. And I didn't. And it's just better just to listen and take action. Don't try, just do. Um, the word no is not as scary as you think it is. You can recover from most things in life. It's just your pride and ego that stand in the way, and you have to take an honest look at that. Right? You have to take an honest look. If you're at a spot right now where you want to change, you have to take an honest look about what you were doing leading up to this very moment. What made you want to make that change? Is the change that you're making is just because you're running away from something that's going well, and it's just not going the way that you want it, so all of a sudden you have to have this large upheaval? You're like, are you moving from thing to thing to thing to thing just because like you're the problem? You have to take an honest look at these things, because change, lasting change, is difficult. It's lonely. If you want to do something, it takes time. Are you like committed to the fact that you're going to have to hit pause on your life while you look around? You see your friends, your peers, your family all get the job, get the career, get the relationship, you know get the house, get the car, whatever it might be. All these things are going on around you, and you have to literally put blinders on and be like, I'm focused on just me. This is my life, right? As much as I love the people around me, they're not going to live my life. They are not going to pay my bills, you know? Um, and I had to get with that. I couldn't be resentful or envious, jealous of other people's lives, because that stuff just eats me up and keeps me um, paralyzed in fear, right? Because all that I just consume, and it just turns into fear and anger, and I'm just not doing anything. And the only way that I know how to do that is just to be destructive and say fuck it, and I just burn it down again, and I just have to. Then I'm in a worse spot, you know. So if you're here and you're looking to make a change, welcome. You know, um, it's going to be fun. Learn to enjoy it. Learn to look at it as a challenge. Um, if it's something that is in nature of business, then have fun with that. You better love it. because the things that I've been doing online for the last 6 years have been difficult. I haven't had, I've had jobs, and then I've been doing this. Find a job that allows you time to work your side hustle, and be okay with that side hustle growing very slow. Be consistent with it. Um, the other part is the emotional support, the emotional part of growth. Um, with the friends, the family, the significant others, like that stuff. Uh, you want to have the right people around you to discuss that. You know, you can't just go with the same ideas that you had from that former version of yourself and apply it to this new way of living. All while knowing that, like, oh man, I didn't like the way that I showed up in that relationship last time. I was not a great partner, um, and I'm doing it again. Like you need somebody to bounce that off of. You need the humility. You need uh, the guts to go back to that person, or whatever it may be, and be like, I messed up. I made a mistake. And learn from that mistake. This is just the ground foundation that you'll need to move forward. But I look to cite specific times throughout the last 10 years in which I had a really challenging moment, and that I easily could have ran back to a version of my former self and burnt it down, but I stuck with it. And is my life moving at light speed? Not really. But I'll tell you this, man, I'm free from that other version of myself. My head doesn't control me as much as it used to, and I feel good today about the person I am. So um, I hope that wasn't too much of a ramble, but the next one will be more focused. So let me know what you want to talk about in the next video, and we'll try to focus on that.